Alrighty boys, welcome back to another step-by-step video. Now today's video is going to be on Zofia. Now honestly guys, I've been looking forward to making a Zofia video over the last couple of days, and the reason why is because this character is actually surprisingly really good. And the reason why is because she's very flexible. Does that make sense? So she has hard breaches as well as having the impacts. Just the fact that she has two impacts plus hard breaches makes her like busted, in my opinion. She's essentially Ash, but with hard breaches, in my opinion, with slightly better kit. Now, the weapon itself doesn't compare to Ash, however, the weapon is still pretty good on her, and the reason why is because it does 45 damage with a 730 fire rate, is what I want to say, and the reason why that's important is because that's essentially a 3-shot to bodies, not including headshots, right? Which is really important, because being able to 3-shot people is really strong at all, you know what I mean, armor levels. So it's like if someone's like a 1 health, 3 health, 2 health, whatever, they're going to always die in 3 bullets no matter what. So I think that's really strong. Now right here, getting us started in our first clip, we're going to spot a bandit inside of kitchen here. Now, honestly, I wanted to 2v1 this with my IQ, but he went over towards like 90 side and completely like ignored me in this position. So I go ahead and just force the gunfight myself with this bandit inside the kitchen. I end up getting myself a free kill onto him. And then we're going to go ahead and use the concussions to basically clear my way through vending. Essentially making sure that nobody's playing on the vending machine or the staircase. I used one so I can shoot the camera, and then I used my second one to make sure nobody walked up, is the idea. And then right here we're going to go ahead and open up the hatch. Then we're going to open up some vertical for pillar here. This is just to prevent people from actually playing inside of EXO. And then ideally here, my IQ would rotate over to me. However, he's off in Narnia by control, so I'm pretty much on my own in this position. So what we're looking for in this position is that we got a drone to figure out what's going on. So I'm going to go ahead and take the drone that I had pre-placed over by 90 from earlier in the round. We're going to drive it down EXO. Now, technically, it could walk up the EXO stairs in this position. However, I drone and I don't see anybody like walking up or anybody in this general location, so I just assume nobody's here. And then we're going to go and drone sight here. We're going to see a clash on the doorway, but clash doesn't necessarily stop or push in this position. So I'm going to go ahead and just run in. I'm going to drop the hatch here in this position. The reason why I drop hatch is because it's just the fastest way to get inside of EXO to get to this default plant without having to worry about like other factors, if that makes sense. Now right here, when we're running back, we're going to unfortunately get swung by this dock. Once again, I'm not really sure what my IQ is doing. I thought he would be holding this, but he wasn't, so I ended up getting shot up a lot by that dock. And then what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and rotate up after killing the dock and just hold EXO. We just got to prevent people from walking through this doorway. So we're going to get a free kill on Warden here, trying to walk up for the default plant. And then we're going to just wait here now. All we got to do is just maintain this position. Tubrow ends up just ratting in a corner right here, but we're going to swing aggressively on the hatch here and get ourselves a free kill onto him as well to secure the round. Now, next up, I want to talk about Zofia's weapon a little bit more. Now, my current sensitivity is actually like really strong with Zofia's weapon, and I feel like just in general it's a really good sensitivity, and I do actually plan on making like a whole video with the sensitivity and like explaining it to you guys, because one of the things that I'm doing right now is I'm actually using advanced settings as well, and I want to make a video to kind of like explain the concept with the advanced settings as well, and I do actually think it's really worth it to use advanced settings. But long story short, if you don't have a sensitivity that works super well with this gun, one thing I feel like you should note is that Zofia's gun, like the first, like, I want to say like 8 to 9 bullets have like no recoil whatsoever. If you're just like pulling down, you're probably good to go for most gunfights and most engagements. So I would focus on that. Like I said, with my current sensitivity, the gun really feels like no recoil. So for me, it feels really good overall. So that's what I would work on if you're planning on playing Zofia, is to get a sensitivity that works well with this gun, because her gun is like probably the main thing that holds her back, in my opinion. And the real strong part about Zofia, in my opinion, is going to be that vast amount of utility. Like I said, the 2 impacts, not counting the concussions, plus the 2 hard breaches, is just way too strong, in my opinion, for one operator to have. And the other operator that I'm planning on doing soon is actually Zero. Zero is the same concept, way better gun, a little bit less in terms of like the gadget removal, but pretty much like the same concept where you have hard breaches and you have some kind of utility. I feel like operators like this are just kind of broken, in my opinion. I feel like Striker also falls into that category as well. So you're probably going to see a Striker video at some point as well, because I've been really enjoying these type of operators in the solo queue. Now, one thing I want to point out here during this clip is that there's a guy that is pretty much ratting downstairs for secret for me in this position. So I'm pretty much just trying to make sure this guy can't walk up. Now, honestly, during this run, I thought this was a Valkyrie, so I thought if I rotated away, he would basically just deny our default plant here. But long story short, it's not a Valkyrie, so I'm going to go ahead and just rotate up to the breach in this position and just cover my teammate for the default plant. Now, this breach looks kind of weird, but it shouldn't really matter because we do end up getting the plant down. All we really got to do here is, since it is a 2v3 position, we have to get a kill here, so I'm going to go ahead and get one kill on Doc right here. And then, technically, I could play safe at this position, but one thing that is important to note is that there's a very high chance that Lion is going to die here. And for context, that's what's going to end up happening here, and this is the reason why I'm playing so aggressive in this position, because Lion's going to end up going down here, and I predict this is going to happen, so I'm looking to get another kill before I play safe. And since I get the pick, putting us into a nice 1v1 position now, because since Lion is injured, and I don't have a way of reviving him, now I just got to pretty much just bait time, make sure the Capcan can't stick a plant, and we're going to go ahead and swing aggressively to get ourselves a free kill into him as well and secure the round right there. I think the real power when it comes to Zofia is the amount of like flexibleness you have, and as well as like, since you're an operator that doesn't necessarily need to be the one that goes for hatch or doesn't need to be the person that goes for vertical, it actually is like surprisingly a really good operator for like doubling down on your team's push, if that makes sense. So like, for example, in this round, my team is essentially going to be going for a bathroom take. Since the bomb site is bathroom, we're going to be trying to open up the hatch to look for a plant, and simultaneously, while we're looking for that play, we're going to be clearing out for vertical as well. Now, one thing that's important to note here is that since I'm playing Zofia, a lot of people on this game aren't going to consider Zofia as being like a primary hard breacher, if that makes sense, for hatches in this position. So we also have an ace as well in this position, who does actually end up dying off rip over here by east stairs. And somebody actually runs out right here. So we know there's at least one more guy over by east in this position. So I'm going to go ahead and just open up the east staircase doorway here, because one of the big factors here at play right now is that this guy over by east is a problem for our team in this position. So I need to basically make sure that I'm being aggressive enough here, that I'm holding an angle for east to make sure this guy doesn't have much room to run around. So I'm going to go ahead and just hold east in this position and go and get myself a free kill onto the guy on east, which is the two-brow, putting us into a nice 4v4 position. The bomb is down over by courtyard, so one of us will have to go ahead and grab that later on in the round. I'm going to swing back archives on this vert here to get another free kill for Goyo. That's a very standard spot that people like to play inside a workshop when there's vert and back archives. So I always highly recommend that if you do make vert back archives, you always check for somebody looking through that vert towards back archives, because a lot of times right smack dab in the middle of the room there's going to be a guy looking right at you, and you'll be able to get yourself free kills. Technically it's not the middle of the room, but you know what I mean. Like when you peek the angle, it's basically like middle of your line of sight is basically what I mean. And a lot of people tend to do that when they peek vert, is they will play like smack in the middle of whatever vert that you make. And basically, it's because they want to peek up like accurately through the vertical, if that makes sense. So a lot of the times when you peek vert, just assume someone's going to be smack in the middle first before you look anywhere else, in my opinion, because it's very likely that someone will be there. Now right here, we're in a classic position here where we can drop the hash to go for a plant. I'm holding bathroom door in this position. I was hoping one of my other teammates would come over to hold the rotate hole for tellers. However, no one will end up doing it in this position, so I'm going to have to swing aggressively after my blitz dies to get a kill onto a Valkyrie, who ended up killing my blitz in this position. And then now I'm going to go ahead and swing aggressively for the tellers rotate that nobody was holding, and get myself another free kill for Legion. And then at this point, the last guy, the Capcan, I thought was in workshop. He actually rotates up metal in this position. He gets one kill, but my Nomad is going to go ahead and trade him out, and we secured a round right there. By the way, guys, if you are watching this after my mute step-by-step video, the next step-by-step video I'm going to put out tomorrow is going to be an ace step-by-step video, and then we're going to go back to another new operator, and then we're going to go back to mute, okay? That's going to be the new schedule, okay? So we're pretty much going to be alternating ace and mute step-by-step videos with new operators in between. Let me know your guys' thoughts on that. But to get us started here into our next clip, guys, we're attacking the basement bomb site on Consulate here. And long story short, the enemy team likes to roam for lobby and lounge in this position. So I basically need to drone out and look for these guys because they did shoot my other drone during prep phase here, and we're actually going to see visual scans by lobby in this position. I'm going to go ahead and start looking to walk in at this point because I figured visual would be playing inside a lounge in this position. However, I'm going to end up catching myself, a free kill on Doc in this position, but there is still a vigil like roaming around in this position. However, what's going to end up happening here is I'm going to get audio as well as calls from my teammates that the vigil is actually playing above and meeting in this position. So I'm actually going to walk upstairs here, and I highly recommend doing this whenever you guys can. Like whenever you're doing like a push, whatever push that you're trying to go for, try to look to see if you can help your teammates on a roam clear. It just helps like a lot if you like just drop whatever you're doing and just look for a roam clear. It's just helpful. You know what I mean? Because then you can minimize how many people are actually going to die to the potential roamers. So we're getting ourselves a free kill onto the Solus right there. And like I said, my teammates were calling out for it. So I knew he was playing inside a meeting. I just had to look for him to actually get the kill. And then we successfully killed him. So now it's a 5v3 position. Like I said, there should still be a vigil roaming in this position. So we got to watch out for him. I thought he might be playing inside of this hallway right here for Spiral, but I see my Amaru start to like peek down the hallway and not get shot. So that means that the only logical place that he can be playing is most likely going to be for Spiral itself towards the bottom here. So I'm going to go ahead and Zofia in the hopes that my Amaru can swing it, but unfortunately my Amaru is going to get slammed. So we're going to go ahead and do another Zofia EMP, so that way we can make him basically rotate away from that position. And then I'm going to go ahead and come back after making a little bit of vert with my impacts. Another thing that's really nice about the impacts is that you don't have to use them for utility technically. You can also use them for vertical. And then right here we're going to be holding for bottom Spiral in this position. However, since it's like turning into like a 4v2 to a 3v2, I'm going to go ahead and just rotate back over to the vert here to look to open up the hatch. And then now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to actually pop this mirror. Now the nice thing about mirror is that when you pop a mirror, there's a little bit of smoke effect as well as noise. So I can actually use that to mask my drop in this position to get myself a free kill in the mirror playing inside the kitchen. And then the last guy is the vigil that was playing over by Spiral. He's actually going to rotate into new pillar right here. My teammate's going to go ahead and get the kill to secure the round. But anyway guys, I hope you guys enjoyed today's step-by-step video. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace!